everyone. What we're going to do today is we're going to make a 3-strand eye splice. So once we're done, your splice is going to look something like this, and let's get started. So what we're going to need is a piece of line similar to this. Obviously the line you're going to use is probably a lot longer than this, but just for demonstration I think this is going to do. Bit of tape. I like electrical tape because you can stretch it, get a little purchase on it, and a pair of scissors. That's all you'll need. So the first step we want to do is we want to mark the size of the eye that we're going to splice. You could do this for a number of reasons. You could do it because you want it to fit over a certain fitting on your boat, or you could do it because you need to fit a thimble or a metal eye inside here which prevents chafe on the line. But all we're going to do for this case is we're going to take our tape and we're going to mark each section of the line individually, just like so. So once you've done that, it's going to look like this. Okay, so you'll have your two pieces of tape on either side, and then you'll have the size of the eye that you're wanting to splice. Great. Next step after that is you're going to deal with these strands on the end. Now I've already done this. I've separated each of the 3 strands, and I've tensioned up, or I've tightened up the line by twisting it this way and taping the ends shut, taping the end over the sharp edge, and that's what we're going to be splicing into the rope itself. So once you're there, you can unravel the line up to that black mark that we made earlier, and then you're ready to go. So the way I like to do this, pretty simple, is I'll just flip it over like that. Lay the one line on top of the other so that you've got your black marks all equal. And normally what you'll find is the line tends to do this. It tends to want to fall one strand to the left, one strand to the right, and then one to the center. And the center strand is the one we're going to start with. So what I'm going to do is shift this back so you can see, just like so. This strand at the base of our black tape, that's the one we're going to start with. And the center strand is going to do over, under. That'll be our first tuck. The easiest way to do that is to twist the line open. You'll see there I can create a little hole or an opening. I'm going to send my center strand through that hole like that. Pull it until these 2 black marks line up, just like so. And then some people like to mark the lines, so you could mark this one either a different color, or you could put a dot and then 2 dots and 3 dots on the end of this. I don't think it's necessary for a 3-strand eye splice. You know, we typically do that. We mark the strands if we're doing a multi-braid or something like that, but I think for this case it's fine. So once we've done our first tuck, we'll shift the line over, we'll fold it over towards ourselves, and you'll notice that this line is sticking out, and it's actually touching this strand over here. So what we're going to do is go over that strand and under the next one down, because we're splicing into this standing end of the line. So to do that, again, I'll grab my line, I'll twist it open a touch, and then I'll send this strand over that one and under the next one. There we go. That's our second tuck, making sure that we keep these 2 black marks nice and level. And then we're going to carry that rotation on. So I'm going to fold it over towards myself once more. And now you'll see we've got our last strand that we need to work with. And this is the only one that's different in the sense that it doesn't go over under. This one comes back towards the top end of the loop, and it goes under the strand that we haven't used just yet, just like so. Right, and now I can take out the slack on all 3 of these lines, and in this case we've now done our first revolution. If you hold it up, you'll notice that each of these strands is coming out of a different side of the line, and then you know you've done it correctly. And from here on it gets a little bit easier in that it doesn't matter which of these lines you start with, but they all follow the same program over and under. So if we go with this one, he'll go over that strand and under the next one down, like so. Turn it towards ourselves again, and this is a point where some people make a mistake. You know, just pay attention. You want to go over that strand, under the next one down, alright. This is the only mistake people tend to make when I see them do the splice for the first time, is they forget which line they're going to be splicing into. So some people tend to go over that strand and then under this one, but if you look closely you can see that this one's actually connected here. This is not the strand we want to be splicing under. We want to be splicing under this strand right there. So there we go. So now we've done 2 revolutions. The lines should all be coming out the same side, opposite ends rather, sorry, and then we'll just do one more like so. Right, so now you might notice you have a little bit of slack. We can work that out by just rolling the line in your hands, and that tends to work out the slack nicely. This is our stop point. You can carry on splicing if you want to do one more revolution, but 3 I would say is the minimum. 4, 5, some people like to do 5 revolutions. All depends on your choice really. So at this point what we will do is we will take our scissors and we can cut the line like so and melt the end down, or if you've got one, a hot knife is much preferred because it's a little electrical element that heats up, and we can create a very nice clean cut when we cut through the line, and we melt it down so that it'll look a lot neater than this one I did previously. You can see it's starting to unravel a little bit, but that's a quick fix. Just take a hot knife and melt the ends down. You want to be quite careful with this obviously, because if you do have sharp edges they can fray the line, or they can get caught on something and look a little bit not so great. But that's the 3-strand eye splice.